Well, hello, gorgeous, and welcome back. I'm Tara Kendon, the Celestial Manifester, and I cannot wait to take you on the journey of today's beautiful full moon at 16 degrees of Libra. So if you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who've been here for a while, welcome back. Grab your tea, settle in. First off, I gotta show you the latest creation. So in my Fearless Creator collection, these are my brand new mugs I've been working on. I hope you've got your candles lit for the season. This is Aries season we're in right now. So I've got my candle all lit up for those of you who are following my fearless creations and are becoming a fearless creator yourself. You're going to hear so much more about this, but I just want you to settle in and get ready for the ride. So we're going to talk about the astrology first, because there's some really interesting and exciting information I want to share with you that I don't know many of you know about. So I want to share it because it's kind of exciting. And then we're going to dive into the human design, and I'll make sure the timestamps are below so that you have those and you can kind of follow along. So let's get going here. First up, I'm going to share with you the astrology of the energy. So you should be able to see this now. And this is the energy of the chart. So this is a full moon in Libra. This is, of course, in the time zone that I'm in. For if you're in Eastern Standard, you're, back a little bit, and then PST, you're ahead a little bit. So just make sure that you adjust for your location. But it's at 16 degrees of Libra. Okay. And every time we have a full moon, you see the moon is on one side of the chart and the sun is on the other side of the chart, right? Before we dive into the energy of this particular chart, I want to talk about the fact that we've had seven full moons at this 16-degree mark. The first one happened back in October, on the 9th of October, 2022. And that's where this energy, I feel like, really initiated. And I'm thinking, my thought is that this energy of the April 6th, full moon is like a completion phase of what we've been learning and growing and healing through. This has been a very healing experience. And of course, it's like a completion. So if you've been doing all this work and wondering why you've been doing it, it's almost like you're getting a gift here in this full moon, which is kind of exciting. So we had that full moon on October on the 9th. Then we had, the November the 8th at 16 degrees. We had December 8th. We had January 6th, February 5th, March the 7th, and now the April the 6th. Now, the interesting thing about the one from October was that we had the same axis. So we had the Aries and Libra, and we're right back to the same thing now with this Aries and Libra axis. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to show you the chart from October, just so you can kind of see what was October and then what was now. So let me see if I can just find that chart for a hot second. Okay, so you should be able to see now, this is this October the 9th, 2022 chart. And you'll see we have 16 degrees, 32 minutes. This was a moon in Aries, okay? Moon in Aries is ruled by Mars, okay? And where was Mars? Mars was in Gemini, about to go through that whole crazy retrograde that he was in for what felt like forever, which was literally 7 months. So that could be an interesting thing too, but I just wanted to kind of like focus on the energy of that moon being in Aries and then the sun being in Libra, because Libra's ruler is Venus, and there was this sun conjunct Venus, right? So you see that sun conjunct Venus conjunct the power to fortune. So this was like, okay, here's the gift you're being given. There's going to be something here for you that helps you learn about your relationships, right? And it's going to be a really expansive and beautiful opportunity, right? Then you look over here to that moon, but we're going to feel like we're going to the depths of ourselves, and it's going to feel a little sticky. But then trailing behind is Jupiter saying, but there will be a gift when you get through this, okay? Fast forward to where we are right now. So you see moon conjunct Chiron conjunct, it's not really conjunct, but trailing behind is this Jupiter, okay? But we had that sun conjunct Venus conjunct the part of fortune. Now let's look forward and see where we are now with this beautiful energy. All right, so here's the latest. This is the full moon we're in right now, which is at 16 degrees, 7 minutes. And the moon is in Libra, ruled by Venus. Okay, where's Venus? Venus is in Taurus, and Venus is very happy in Taurus. She's building something, beautiful in this lifetime. She's helping us to understand our worth, our value, our ability to magnetize things toward us. Okay. And then we look to the sun, who is now conjunct that Chiron. So, and also conjunct Jupiter. So for those of you who are like, wait, I don't get it. Just put it this way. The moon initially took us on this journey of healing. And the moon is like our emotional selves, our inner selves, how we feel about things, how we feel about ourselves, and how we feel about our relationships and other people. Because at first it was in Aries, which was getting us to look at ourselves, our relationship to ourselves. Now we have the moon in Libra, which is saying like, how are we in relationship? How do we feel in relationship? And then we have the sun in Aries saying, and how do we want to be seen in relationships now that we've done this inner healing work? We have a gift. We've given ourselves a gift or a new understanding about just how important, how powerful, how magical we are. And so when I tie this together, it just shows me how much like healing work we've been doing, how much expanding we've been doing about learning more about our talents and our gifts and what we want to bring into the world. Like, what do we want to ground in and bring? What beauty do we want to bring into the world? And there's so much of it, so much of it. And we're trying to figure out a way with all this new power we feel inside of ourselves. How are we balancing this in our relationships? Intimate relationships, partnerships, and just in general, like, how are we showing up in relationship to others? How is this new powerful, exciting version of ourselves moving forward? How are we communicating differently? How are we feeling? What have we healed? What now do we know? I need this to be healthy, not only physically, but emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Like, this was the overhaul. So if you felt like that and you've emerged into this place now where we're in Aries season, this is the beginning of the astrological chart and time. This is the new year, if you will. We're in it now. And there's something really exciting here for us to jump forward into, which is all about, how do I go all in on me? How do I go all in on me, but show up in my relationships as me, not as the person I feel like I need to be in this relationship, right? So that was kind of, when I looked at these and I looked back to say, wow, there's been 7 of these at 16 degrees. That is saying something so big. And then, on the 19th, 20th, depending on your location of April, this month, we're going to have a new moon. So new initiating energy, that's going to, an eclipse energy, and eclipse is kind of helping us to break free from, let go of, be done with. But there's this new initiating energy at 29 degrees of Aries. It's like we've come to the end of, and this is that second new moon in Aries. So it's the completion part of this. Even though it's a new moon, there's still a completion that's happening, right? So it's like, what are we done with? And I believe that we're done with showing up like we feel as though we've had to show up. Now we're like, I want to just be me. If people like it, great. If they don't like it, well, sayonara, sweetheart. I love you. Good luck. But you'll miss out on all this awesome zhuzh, so that's the vibe. So we'll talk about the eclipse as it comes closer, but that's the energy I wanted to share with you. Now, there are thousands of astrologers you can go and listen to that are going to tell you all about the energy of, what each planet will bring to you. But this was the thing that I was like, we've been doing a lot of work. We've been doing a lot of healing. And this is the magic that we're being gifted back to ourselves to be in our power, to finally go, yeah, baby, I am all in on me, on my next iteration, on my next direction forward into this beautiful life I'm here to live. Okay. So I'm going to stop this share. I'm going to come back to you for a hot second, make sure you're still with me and paying attention. And then I'm going to open up the human design to bring you the vibes of what you can expect with your energy within the body, where this might physically show up for you. So when we look at the human design, it's the energetic portion. It's how the energy wants to move through us, where the astrology, it's like foundational shifts and changes, that you have to find a way to work with, where the human design gives us a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more flow and fluidity and movement. So let's start up here with the sun. So for those of you who are brand new to human design, you're like, holy crap, what is this chart? It looks like a little overwhelming. Just know that we run through the planets down the sides. This is the design, and this is what we call the personality. This is the ancestral wisdom, the genetic imprinting that kind of comes through to you 3 months before you're physically here in the world, where the personality side is like when you took your first breath. This was the imprint. This was the energy of the person you are here in this incarnation, right? And we run through the planets the same as the astrology, but it's so fun. I find it so fascinating to look at both of the astrology and the human design to see how they intermingle and play, and how that energy can show up within your physical body. So I'm not going to go through all of the centers and explain all of the stuff, but just know that there are videos that I've done which kind of walk you through it. You can also get my Human Design Fundamentals course, which I'll put the link below. And it's a really simple, easy, fun course to go back to over and over and over again to get more insights on your own chart and your family's charts, your friends' charts, and see how your energies engage together. So this chart is a snapshot of when the full moon will be here. And this is where the planets will be in that particular moment. So the sun will be in gate 51. Well, the gate 51 runs off the will center, willpower, our ability to stick with something. Well, the sun is going to be in the gate of shock. And some people hear the gate of shock and freak out a little bit, but this is like an initiating energy. So if we've been off track, if we haven't really been on the direct course, this is going to bring us back. But I feel like so many of you are already at this moment where you're like, it's the initiation for you to shine fully in your brilliance and your light. Like, here's your permission slip. Go and do the thing and really enjoy all of it, because Jupiter is also there expanding. You remember that Sun and Jupiter are conjunct, saying, woohoo, let's go do it. Are you ready? Exciting times. And you can be in your power and go and shine so brightly. Then we have the Earth, which is in the gate 57, which is the gate of, instinct. Moon is there as well. And Moon is an instinctual energy. We sense things, we feel things, we intuitively know things. And now we have this groundedness, this understanding, this new level of awareness. Like, yeah, I'm ready for this. I'm here for this. I was born for this. It's my time. I'm going all in on me. And then the North Node, it's like, I'm choking, but it's like, I know so many of you are ready, but you're still fearful, scared to death to be like, well, what if I do step forward in that bold, big way? What if I do that and I flop flat on my face and I look like an idiot? Well, we're going to talk about that. You can pick yourself up. You're going to be fine. I promise. But let's look at the gate 27. This is the gate of accountability. Gate of accountability runs off here. And I will say the 57 is here. Spleen center energy, right? Knowing in the moment. This is this life force energy running off the sacral, okay? Our ability to create, our ability to not over nurture people, but to, this is that analogy of don't teach a woman to fish, or don't give the woman the fish, teach her how to fish, right? So that she can go out and do it. So this is that energy of, you've got something to share with your group, your collective, your people, whoever they are, whether that's within your home or your community, that you've got this wisdom, this idea, this notion, this something that could help improve the lives of other people. And maybe you've just got a beautiful recipe you want to share. Like it can be that simple to like, I have this life-changing, idea I want to share with the world. So whatever it is, you've got something here that's holding you to the fire, to your internal flame, saying, this is our time to lead this thing. This is our time to bring this forward into the world. And it's our responsibility to do that in a way that we don't burn ourselves out. Okay. Now we've come from, where have we been? Gate 28 here is about this energy of adventure or challenge, depending on how you look at it. And I like to think of them both as like the most beautiful gift. You've been on these adventures and you've had these challenges. So you now have this new level of wisdom that just showing you how to lead the work and do the thing. We've all had experiences, and challenges in our life that have brought us to this place to help lead us forward. That's the South Node. Where have we been? North Node, where are we going? The moon we've talked about in the gate of instinct, giving us this just intuitive pulse, this intuitive boom. Yes, this is where we're going. Yes, this is what we're going to do. And it's going to be quick. It's going to be so fast and furious. You're just going to be, your head might spin a little bit, but just know and trust in yourself and your wisdom that, your connection to spirit, God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, is speaking directly to your heart. It's just speaking to you in an intuitive way, and you've got to listen. Now, again, Mercury is in the gate 27 too. So remember, we talked North Node, Mercury conjunct in the gate 27. What is it you have to share? Share that thing. Then Venus, beautiful goddess Venus, is in the gate 23, running off the throat. Remember, the words we speak have such power, such power. And she has these really innovative ideas that she's ready to communicate with the world. But, there is an element of divine timing. Is the timing right? Are the people ready? Well, if the words come easy, it's time. If you struggle, stumble, have trouble formulating the idea, it needs a little bit more time to percolate before you speak it into action. But don't let that hold you back. Sometimes you just might have a little bit of fear, like, oh, what if I say this? And people are like, she's crazy. Who cares? Crazier the better. Bring it on. That fearless creator within you is ready to just say it, get it out, do the thing, and see what happens. But if you instinctually know, like the timing isn't right, I need a little bit more time here, then trust that. You know, okay? Mars is down here in the root, giving us this pulse, this endurance. It's the gate of perspective, okay? So this is really the ability for us to kind of like see the bigger picture, the bigger perspective, and the purpose of what's going on around us so that we know where to focus our energy and to facilitate the unfolding of what is the next. So we have the power of Mars moving us forward in a very tuned in way. He's still in Cancer. So there is this level of him, this caring, compassionate, understanding, loving Mars, who is, maybe a little bit frustrated in Cancer, but he is moving forward and he is working with us to help us feel the pulse of the energy to move it forward. We talked about Jupiter. Jupiter's in the 51, that gate of initiation, giving us that gift of initiating this energy. And then we have Saturn in the gate 55. Gate 55 is all about faith. Do I trust myself enough? Do I have the faith? Am I holding a level of energy that will bring this thing forward? Or am I so misaligned, so out of my frequency, so disconnected from that excitement that I don't have the faith or trust that this thing is going to work, that I'm going to work, that I'm just, floating aimlessly in this lifetime and nothing is working out and everything is going to pot. So if you're in that frequency, remember, every time you have a thought, it creates a feeling. That feeling creates a frequency. This is where, that heart-based energy, that G center is a magnetic monopole. You think of a magnet, it only attracts towards it. So if I feel funky, I'm going to start like this frequency that I'm emitting into the world is also going to feel funky. Now, without going too deep in this, just know your thoughts create this feeling, create the frequency that then calibrates the experiences that are right or wrong. And then you manifest from there. So it's very simple. Like if you're feeling funky, what are you thinking about? What am I thinking about? What am I thinking about? What am I thinking about? Like that's the number one thing to go back to. What am I thinking about? Because Uranus is down here in the gate too. Uranus has been here for a little while. And this is the gate of allowing. So this is like allowing and trusting that you're on the right track. This is where you get the gift and the permission to be you authentically, fully, to chase that wild dream and to have the faith and the trust that the right things will show up in the moment you need them for it to all work out and make sense. You know, that it will, if you allow something bigger than yourself to help you, to call in the powers of something bigger. And it's so easy for me to say that for someone who doesn't have that that knowing, like when has your butt been saved at the last second? Every one of us has an experience that we can draw back on in our memory to say, yep, I can't say my rent was due and I was like, I don't know how I was going to do it. And all of a sudden, the client came through at the last second to give you the money so that you could pay your rent. Like if you don't have that sense of trust in something bigger right now, go and make the list of every single time your bacon's been saved at the last second, like that things came through at the last second and it was way beyond your control. That's that kind of energy. Like, do I have faith that if I want to chase down this dream, it's going to work out for me, even if I have zero idea of where it's going to come from, how it's going to come, and all that stuff, right? This is the not overthinking it gate. This is like, I fall back, I lean back, and I'm just in awe of the magic that is beyond myself. And then we look to Neptune, higher consciousness. Where is Neptune? Neptune's in the gate 36. Again, there's a lot of emotional frequency here, right? So that gate 36 is the gate of exploration. It's the gate where we move beyond. And it really is, again, about emotional frequency. We're going to talk, like, frequency is like the hottest commodity on the planet. How you feel about things, it creates a frequency. Like, I don't care who denies this fact, but like how we feel about things instantly creates a frequency. And that is the number one thing for you to get under control. Because if you're feeling funky, I can tell you right now, it's your frequency that you're emitting out. And there's something behind that frequency that's up here creating it. The mind creates a feeling, and most feelings are it's like a autopilot switch that gets flipped when you've had an experience. There was a feeling associated with the spirit experience, and you're running through the similar kind of thing, and all of a sudden you feel a certain way when it's a new experience. Anyway, so this gate of exploration is asking us to hold on to a bigger vision and to sustain it with this aligned frequency of emotional energy, that's going to bring our vision into form when the timing is right, and to stretch the boundaries of, what we think is possible by breaking patterns and creating miracles through our emotional alignment and frequency. Are you ready for that? Basically. Now, Pluto here in the gate 60, this is the gate of conservation. Again, this is that root pulse. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing your energy on what is working as opposed to what's not working? Do you have the insight to look back and say, yeah, this experience that I had, this transformation I went through, where's the optimistic side of that? Because most times we don't see it. Right? We forget, we deny that an experience actually helps shift us forward. So, there's always something to be gleaned from all experiences, good, bad, and ugly. There's something that we've learned there. And, when we have the maturity, we are able to see it for what it is. And I think, this last 7 months or these last 7 full moons have just continued to be like illumination, illumination, illumination. Like you're learning all these things about how you think, how you act, how you feel, how you are in the world, like it's that emotional, that energetic, and all the different elements that make you who you are, create this level of understanding and have created a really beautiful and exciting new level of awareness. So let me pull a couple cards and set you on your way. If you are complete, my friends, and you're like, that's great, I got all the information I need, so much love to you. Carry on camping, have a beautiful, time ahead, and we'll be back for the eclipse. And the one thing I do want to mention is I've decided to kind of like pull a card a day and tell you about the energies of Venus and how the card relates to that Venus energy, like kind of pull in that divine feminine energy, that Venus energy, and pull a card specific to her to say, like, what do you want us to know today? Because remember, Venus is how we create. Venus is how we believe in ourselves enough to create the lives that we want, to create the lives that we deserve, and to own that co-creative power, right? So you can come back every day and watch the short on that if you feel so inclined. And today we're redefining boundaries. And I think this is a great card for today because it's about, you've learned something new about who you are as a woman, as a human, as a beautiful person embarking on this brand new version of yourself. And you now have such a new, powerful level of awareness. It's time for you to own it. Solar plexus chakra energy. This is your willpower, your fire, right? This is, I think this moon being in Libra opposing the sun in Aries, this is like that lioness energy is now, you get it. You know it, and you're embracing and embodying the power of what it looks like for you to be completely in alignment with something magical. And the mirrors card. I don't think I showed you the solar plexus card. I think I just set it down. But this is this beautiful energy of mirrors. What do I see? What's out there that I see that I want? What's out there that really excites me and lights me up and makes me want, believe a little bit more in myself. Watch more of that. Feel more excited about your life and your potentiality. If you are finding yourself getting caught up in the rhetoric of what, is going to go sideways, what is going wrong, what is blah, 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 blah. Frequency, frequency, frequency. Redefine the boundary and say, sayonara, sweetheart, because you are on this path of managing your frequency, allowing yourself to feel more beautiful and more powerful within yourself in a very grounded, a very stable and secure way, a way in which you've never owned it before. And I don't know, you can't tell I'm already so excited about it, but I'm so excited about it for all of you because I know there are so many of us collectively coming together to feel like we belong to something bigger, something more magical. So right now I'm going to take a second to invite you to join me in a special free private Facebook group that I've started called Fearless Creators. So it's a Fearless Creators community. And this is where you get to test, explore, experience, owning your power yourself, being that fearless creator, bringing things into the world and seeing how, powerful you can be in the way you co-create this existence that is your life. Whether this is like, I'm going to test out a new recipe today and see how it goes. I'm going to, have a big, powerful conversation with somebody today. I'm going to release this new thing in my business. Whatever it is, everything you do every single day is a creative endeavor. How you brush your teeth is creative. How you wear your makeup is creative. How you engage with people is creative. It's your unique way of doing it. And that is a creative endeavor. So, fearless creators, we unite in this beautiful space. So I will put the links to that below. I'll put the links to the HD course if you want to take that. And Welcome. Thank you. I'm so grateful you're here, and I will see you again soon on the next video. Take care, everyone.